Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Commissioner's Couch Fantasy Football Podcast. We're so excited to have you. My name is David. That is my friend Mosser over there. How you doing, man?
Good. You can call me Ryan Mosser. Just don't call
Ryan
me Ryan.
Mosser, the one and
Good,
only.
man. How are you?
I'm good. I had a long week at work, but I'm doing well. Really excited to get into this week's episode, though. There's a lot that happened in fantasy football. So, yeah, you want to hit us with those injury updates?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Okay. So this week there are a lot of really bad injuries, unfortunately.
Too many.
Yeah. First one. First I'm going to talk about our sponsor. We're provided by Inside Edge Network and LVP Productions, and brought to you by Monster Moments Photography, a husband and wife photography team located in Cleveland. They specialize in weddings. They're really good. It's my company. So check out monstermomentsphotography.com, monstermomentsphotography.com. Check them out. Check us out. We're really good. We did Dave's wedding engagement. We've done a ton of weddings. We're really busy. It's wedding season right now. So, but we're grateful. So God is good. So all right, injuries. First one, I'm going to go Joe Burrow. He's injured with turf toe, placed on IR, automatic 4 games. They're talking it could be 3 months.
3 months is wild.
Yeah, I mean, the rumors are saying they're hoping he just comes back this season. So I don't know. That's obviously awful. So Jake Browning is going to be the replacement. So look for him. Next, I would go JJ McCarthy. Hurt his ankle. He's out this week. I don't know how bad, but at least out this week. Carson Wentz is going to be the replacement for him. Then there's Jaden Daniels. He had an MRI. He hurt his knee. MRI just said it was a sprain. His week 3 status is in doubt. If he does not play, it would be Marcus Mariota who'd be the replacement there. Justin Fields is already out for week 3 with a concussion. It'll be Tyrod Taylor as his replacement. Good old Tyrod Taylor.
Quarterbacks already. Wow.
That's crazy. Brock Purdy's still out. They're saying still 2 to 5 weeks. So Mac Jones is the replacement for him. So that's another one. Austin Eckler towards Achilles. He's out for the season. You'll have Bill Crosby Merritt as a replacement for him. Jalen Wright with the Dolphins is back up at running back. A knee injury rolled out. Will Shipley back at running back for the Eagles rolled out with oblique. I would just drop him personally. Jaden Reed, receiver for the Packers, broken collarbone, out 6 to 8 weeks. Christian Kirk, slot receiver for the Texans, looks on track to play. He's been inactive all season so far with
finally some good news.
Yeah, we'll see. Xavier Worthy dislocated his shoulder, but he's likely to play this week, so that's good. So check for that. Something to monitor. Chris Godwin is practicing, but still should be out for a few weeks. But that's at least good that he's starting to practice. He's on track to at least play here soon. Brock Bowers. Go ahead. What?
No, I just saw somewhere that Mika Egbuka was also questionable this week because he wasn't practicing today. I did not see what the injury was, but
I missed that. Today is my wife and I's 9th anniversary, so I just got back from dinner. Thanks, man. Yeah, just got back from dinner. So, Brock Bowers. He played this last week. He did play very well. I would say his knee might have been bothering him, so just monitor that. Today came up Jalen Waddle's shoulder. He's questionable for Thursday Night Football with the Dolphins. And then Tyler Warren did not practice today, tight end for the Colts, with an undisclosed injury. Yeah. So undisclosed significance injury for that. So, and then you said Emeka Egbuka there. So
yeah, a lot of injuries going around. It's
right.
Only week 2 going into week 3. So
it'll happen. You'll get soft tissue injuries this time of the year. It's unfortunate, but it's part of the game. So
yeah,
body's getting used to getting beat on again. So,
but we'll see how they recover and who's in and who's out. So We'll jump into week 1 recaps. Let's do our hunks and our skunks again. Talk through some players that we really liked how they performed last week and some players who did not perform up to par and were a little stinky. So they were skunks. You want to go first?
I'm not sold on the hunks and skunks, but we'll see.
I like it.
I don't know. It's kind of corny.
Who cares? I like it.
We'll see. All right. I'll go. You go first. Go ahead. Let me hear a hunk, I guess.
All right, hunk. Rome Odunze, the most targeted player for the Bears in their offense. Caught 2 touchdowns. Also had, I think he had over 100 yards, if I remember correctly. I don't have the stats in front of me. But, he played really well, and for fantasy purposes was a wide receiver 1. So, great job on the week for Rome Odunze.
Great pick, yeah. And you picked him last week, too, as one of your dudes. So, good pick, man.
Thank you. I like him.
Sorry. All right, yeah. I'm going with J.K. Dobbins. Not super great, but for RB14, 45% snap count last week. 14 carries for 76 yards and a touchdown. Week 2 compared to R.J. Harvey, who only had 5 rushes for 8 yards. Sean Payton wants to run the ball, and it's obvious that J.K. Dobbins is the lead running back for that backfield. As long as he stays healthy, I consider him a hunk. I think that he'll get even more of a workload. 45% is good, but I think he'll get more than that now. And we'll just keep on moving with him. So.
Yeah, it's a good one. I like him. Sean Payton loves his running backs, and it does not look like R.J. Harvey has been as advertised as a rookie yet. So J.K. definitely good.
Yeah, a lot of these rookies are struggling though for running backs. So.
But it's also just a big learning curve getting into the NFL. So that makes sense.
Another
hunk that I had was. See, I knew that he had over 100. Thank you for getting that for me. Another hunk that I had also had a really great game in the receiving game, and that is tight end Tucker Kraft. He was somebody that I started in one of my redraft leagues, and he won my matchup for me because he dominated. And so, he had, I want to say it was like 80-something yards and caught a touchdown. So definitely a great tight end to start there.
And his yards after catch, man, phenomenal. That guy's he's so good. He's gonna be a top 5 tight end this year. He's the next Trey McBride. This Packers offense is really good. And
what's crazy to me with the Packers offense is that every year I feel like there's a new weapon that emerges from that offense. Like last year it was Josh Jacobs. The year before that was Romeo Doubs, and now this year it's Tucker Kraft. And so it's just like they constantly evolve, constantly find ways to get new players involved, and it's just really cool.
Well, I think they have to because they're so injury riddled. I mean, Christian Watson's injured every even Dobbs is injured. Now, even with Jaden Reed, so they're constantly trying to, find more guys. Hopefully, maybe like guys like Savion Williams, the rookie receiver out of TCU, might get some play. I mean, they have Dontavian Wicks, but I get what you're saying. But Jacobs' great free agent pickup. I mean, everyone thought he was done, and then he reemerged as one of these best running backs in the league. So I mean, the Packers are really good. So Tucker Kraft is a great pick. He's going to be catching a lot of balls down the seam, and he's going to be getting yards after catch like a maniac. So
I do not like his matchup this week though, but. We'll see what happens.
Well, we'll see. All right. That was your second hunk, right?
Yeah, that was my second.
All right. This one I have is Jordan Mason, running back for the Vikings. Last week, only 9 carries, 30 yards, 2 catches for 8 yards. Not great numbers week 2. But Aaron Jones is now hurt. He unfortunately got hurt. He's going to be out for quite a while. And Mason owns this backfield. We saw what he could do last year when CMC was out with the 49ers. Not to mention J.J. McCarthy's hurt as well. So, I mean, they're going to really have to rely on the run, I think. Carson Wentz's at QB, and I'm not really sold on Wentz right now. But they're still going to have to respect the passing game. I mean, still Justin Jefferson, TJ Hawkinson, and Jordan Addison comes back after this week. He's only suspended for 3 games, so he'll be back next week at game 4. So I think that'll open up things up for Jordan Mason, and he should be, he high RB2, low RB1 for hopefully the rest of the season. So.
Yeah, I like that. That's a great hunk. Shall we talk about some skunks?
Let's do it.
All right. My first skunk that I had was your boy BTJ. Honestly, he looked like scared to catch the ball. I don't know what happened, and I'm sure he'll bounce back. But last week, he just literally looked like he could not catch a cold. It was so bad. Stopped running his routes halfway through. It looked like he was just scared. I don't know what happened. He's normally not like that, but he's having a slow start to the year, so definitely a stinky skunk.
All right. So my number one skunk is BTJ. 4 catches, 12 attempts for 49 yards. I mean, they're giving him the ball, and like you said, Buddy is just not. I don't know if it's in his head. I'm unsure. I don't know if he feels threatened by Travis Hunter, but he's alligating, arming catches in the middle of the field on slants. Real scared to catch the ball. He had a crucial drop on 4th down last week.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like I said, he seems afraid. I'm fading him right now until he proves me otherwise. I mean, I really thought he was going to come in this year and be a top 5 receiver, pick up where he left off, regardless of one of those guys, regardless who's at quarterback, he's going to eat. Like a Malik Neighbors type. But right now he's on thin ice. He's got to prove it. I'm benching him. I can't play him.
Yeah, I agree. Another skunk that I got was actually a surprise for me. Mike Evans. I am kind of fading on Mike Evans this year.
Okay.
I think he did fine overall fantasy wise, but overall it just looks like he's no longer the top weapon for that offense anymore. Looks like the Bucky Irving, Rashad White had a good game. They're running the ball a little bit more this week, and they were trying to force feed Mike Evans some balls, and it just wasn't getting the same separation that he normally does. And so it looks like maybe Ty might be finally catching up with him. But it's a long season. I'm sure he'll bounce back too. But it's just another skunk that surprised me this week was Mike Evans. So
I think when Godwin comes back as well, and I think Otten's still not playing. I mean, that'll open things up. I think he'll still have 1,000 yards this season. I think they'll just make sure that's a thing. That's his brand right now. Is that career every year 1,000 yards. So he's gonna get it, I believe. And then once that's in threat, I think he'll probably be probably hanging up. But I'd expect them to bounce back this year when guys are still other guys are being targeted as well. My second and last skunk is Trayvon Henderson, running back for the Patriots. I'm a huge Buckeyes fan. Really wanted him for the Browns. Really, I drafted him everywhere. Pretty much in the last 2 weeks, Henderson's stats are 8 carries for 37 yards. Last week he had 3 holding calls.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Yes.
and 8 carries total in 2 weeks, 3 holding calls, and he was benched immediately for Ramondre Stevenson, who actually looked really good. Who actually looked like what I expected Travion Henderson to look. He was catching balls in the backfield. He had a really good deep ball. Ran really well. So Henderson, I believe him in dynasty, but in redraft, I'm gonna have to bench him until he can prove me otherwise. I mean, he is one injury away. You never root for an injury, but keep him, stash him on dynasty, obviously. But I don't know. He's just, 8 carries, 37 yards, 3 holding calls, and you're going to get benched if you keep holding. And he's referred, in the draft, he was the premier, run blocker.
Yeah.
He blocked their premier blocking running back. So him and Taj Brooks for the Bengals. So I don't know. It's rookie jitters, whatever. A lot of these rookies, Ashton Genty, Omarion Hampton, a lot of these guys, other than your boy, Bill kind of had a bad game too. So.
Yeah, he didn't touch the ball much, but
yeah, nonetheless, I'm probably fading a lot of these rookie running backs right now. So.
Which is surprising because this is supposed to be a great running back class. But
sure.
I'm willing to be patient with them. I still believe in Genty and Hampton. I even believe in Henderson too.
Who look good? Judkins. I thought Judkins did good. For his first game back, practicing 2-3 games, but he looked plug and play. I'm excited for his workload to increase. I'm clearly unbiased. I'm a Browns fan, but compared to what the backfield looked like last week, Sampson looked great catching the ball in the backfield week 1, but Judkins looks like he's going to be a every down back for sure. So
yeah, excited to see how he continues to progress.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is our week 1 recap. Any other hunks or skunks you want to highlight, or anybody else?
That was my list, bud.
All right, perfect. So let's move on then to week number 2. Let's talk about some matchups this week that you think can produce a lot of good fantasy fireworks. So these are just games that you think will be either really close. Like last week, I predicted the Bengals and the Jaguars game was going to be really close and produce a lot of fantasy points, and it did. What matchups this week you got that will produce some fireworks?
Yeah, my first one, I have Bills versus Dolphins. Bills are 11.5 favorites. I expect the Bills to absolutely bully Miami this week. Big numbers for Josh Allen. At least Josh Allen. James Cook, Keon Coleman, maybe even Dalton Kincaid. This Miami Dolphins team is awful. Unfortunately, it looks like they're going to fire their head coach soon. It looks like they're in disarray. Offensive, defensive, doesn't really matter. Maybe the only bright spot right now is Devin Achane running the ball for Miami, but even then, I don't know. Like I said last week, I'm streaming every single quarterback that's going to play against the Dolphins this year, and I was right with Drake May last week. I think the Bills are going to score a bunch of points. I think everyone's going to eat, and then I think maybe Devin Achane will score something. Maybe maybe Tyreek will catch a couple balls, hopefully, but fat chance, I think so.
Yeah. My first matchup is the Falcons and the Carolina Panthers. Actually. I think the Falcons' offense is going to be way too dominant for the Panthers' defense, and I honestly think that the Panthers' offense will actually be able to score against the Falcons' defense. Okay. So I think that there could be some good fireworks there. I would not necessarily say start Bryce Young per se, but Ted McMillan, somebody that you could probably put into a starting lineup.
He's so all he has to do is catch touchdowns. Hunter Renfrow stealing some touchdowns. This guy's 1 or 2 just looks away from just scoring big fantasy numbers, man. I'm really excited about Ted McMillan.
So. Yeah, you sniped him from me in our rookie draft this year.
Sure did, yeah. I wanted Hunter too, but last second, I don't know. Just had the feeling.
Follow your gut. It's the way to do it. But yeah, I think the Falcons' offense could be good. Another person that could have a really good game is Tyler Algier. He scored a touchdown last week and ran the ball for 5 times for 44 yards. Yeah. So had over 8 yards a carry. So I know Bijan's the main person there, but if they're able to run the ball with Algier again, I'm assuming they'll probably do it a little bit more. So another person to watch out for.
Nice. Yeah, it's a good matchup. I expect. Bijan's going to score a ton, so hopefully they get Drake London involved a little more, and they can get that rolling. But I think that's a good pick. I picked 2 games, so this is my last game. Yep. I picked Browns versus Packers.
Interesting.
Browns have a huge problem on their hands with the Packers, unfortunately. This defense is incredible. The offense is just starting to click, and they have weapons all over the field. But honestly, the Packers also have their hands full with this Browns defense. The game is going to be determined by which defense breaks first, I think. Unfortunately, I think it will be the Browns defense because their offense is just not comparable to the Packers offense, but that doesn't mean that there won't be a fantasy matchup here that's going to be awesome. Joe Flacco, I think he's going to look for Harold Fanning Jr. He's been peppering him with balls the last 2 weeks. This guy is just emerging as, the last 3-4 years, there's been tight ends who have been emerging, whether it's Sam Laporta or Brock Bowers, and then, this year, Tyler Warren and Harold Fanning Jr., and hopefully it continues, but he's looking really, really good. He's looking, I don't want to say it right now because I'm a fan of Njoku, but it looks like he's taking Njoku's spot. This is a contract here for Njoku. And, if he's not going to continue to get the ball, seems like he's not really needed here, and that's a big contract. Which I mean, that's not my job. We'll see. But Fan is looking really, really good.
Yep.
I think that I anticipate Quinshon Judkins will not only get the ball a lot more, but I think he'll be successful at running the ball, regardless of them adding Micah Parsons. He looked good. I mean, he looked rusty as his first game, but like I said, I have faith in this guy. I think he's going to be Nick Chubb 2.0. I think Nick Chubb looked really good this past week too. But he was the best back on the team last week, and that was apparent. So I think its logic makes sense. I think they're going to continue to feed him. The Packers will have a tough task against the defense of the Browns. The Browns actually have had allowed the lowest in the league, 197 yards per game this year, which is really cool. Really good defense. Yeah. The problem is that the offense has been ineffective, and then it makes the defense tired, especially late in games, which has resulted in 7 touchdowns given up late in the games. So the Browns defense held Derrick Henry to 11 carries for 23 yards. Can Josh Jacobs get going against the defense? I think so, possibly. Eventually, the defensive line looked really good. Mason Graham looks fantastic. Myles Garrett's going to be Myles Garrett. He's already got 3.5 sacks in the season. He's going to have more. I anticipate him having over 20 this year, and him,
honestly, he could break the record this year.
What is the record? Do you know?
It's 24 or 22, one of those two.
Okay, yeah. Nonetheless, I mean, he's going to eat. I think Mason Graham complements him perfectly, and opens things up. So. I expect Jordan Love, Josh Jacobs, Tucker Kraft. I call him the Yak King now. He's gonna be top 5 fantasy. Write it down. And Romeo Dobbs will play well too. So it's just gonna be all around a good game as long as Judy and Tillman can catch the ball. So
fingers crossed. In all honesty, I'm like staying away from that game for fantasy purposes. I think both of those defenses are just too good, and I would not be surprised if it's like a weird scoring 13-9 type of a game. Like,
I don't know.
Yeah, I could see it being low scoring. So.
The Browns, I think the last seven games in a row, they haven't scored over 20 points too. So, that's on Kevin Stefanski as well. That's got to be, it's an issue that needs fixed, but that is something to look to. But for fantasy purposes, there's more than touchdowns. And I think, Fan is going to catch the ball, I believe. I think Judkins is going to get the ball, and, I think, hopefully they'll relatively get some yards. So, we'll see.
We'll see. I'll be at that game, so I'm excited for it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So my last matchup that I had is the Denver Broncos at the LA Chargers. That's one I think will be a lot of high-powering offense. Both of those defenses are good, so I think it'll stay a close game. And I think people will just be scoring touchdowns left and right. Somehow, some way, Quentin Johnston is fantasy relevant again, and now number 5 overall in the year. I don't know what happened. Did he get new hands this year? I don't know, but he's playing well. Justin Herbert BTJs apparently. He probably did. Yeah. Justin Herbert's playing well. I think Bo Nix will have a really good game. But yeah, I'm excited to see that game and see what kind of fantasy points will come from that. So.
Oh, I agree. Good pick.
Thank you. All right, so let's jump in then, and we're going to introduce a new segment that we're calling the Longshot lineup.
Yes.
So this is where we're picking some more underdogs that will start in our lineups this week to help us get some sort of competitive advantage.
Right. So these are, we did the legacy lineup the last few episodes, and those are the best players at each position. But I think by week 5 or 6 that would get repetitive. So these are going to be more sleepers. There's guys that might not be the best player at this position, but hey, we like this matchup. We think they'll score this week. So this is who we think you should check it out. So
yeah, let's hear your
long shot lineup. Yeah, so we got a quarterback, running back, receiver, and tight end flex, just like normal. I'll do my first quarterback. I said, screw it, give me Russell Wilson. 30 of 41 for 450 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 horrible interception. Did you see his interception?
I did not know.
Dude, it was a punt down the field, straight. Nobody was in. It was straight to a safety. It was insane. But other than that, this was his best game of his career. He had the most yards he's had in his career. He went from is this guy rosterable first week to oh my gosh, now he's dominating. 3 rushes, 23 yards. He did have 1 fumble. Dropped 37 points against the Cowboys defense. Playing against the Chiefs this week, I know his week 1 was awful. Week 2 was incredible, though, man. He has Malik Neighbors, who's a top 5 wide receiver in fantasy football, and Wan'Dale Robinson, dude, who I had no faith in. I had him. I drafted him as a rookie in all my dynasty, like 2 different dynasty leagues. Thought this guy was going to be something. I loved him in Kentucky, and he done nothing. And all of a sudden now, this past week, I think he had 2 touchdowns, 150 yards, insane.
Yep. He was also on my long shot lineup. So
there you go. Looked very good. Had a decent mix with the hopeful running backs with Tyrone Tracy and Cam Scadaboo. Scadaboo looked really cool. There was a fumble late in Russell Wilson threw it behind the line of scrimmage, which made it a fumble. And Scadaboo had the knowledge to sprint over and knock it out of bounds before it could be recovered by the defense. So that was a heads up play. So I think he'll gain some more playing time here soon too. It looks really good. And I just think they can replicate it this week against the Chiefs. I don't know.
Yeah.
Give me Russell Wilson. Screw it. He's leading the NFL right now in passing yards too. Russell Wilson, crazy.
That's wild. Alrighty, my quarterback that I have is not a seasoned vet. It's actually a rookie, Cam Ward. I think
Cam, dude.
I do like Cam Ward. I think he's going to be good. I think now he's finally got his sea legs underneath him. Week 3 in his first season. The first 2 matchups for him were honestly really tough. And now he's playing the Colts, who are somehow 2-0. And I think that their offense is going to start clicking a little bit. So I'm excited to see how he can progress and keep building off of the positive things that we've seen in the first few weeks. So I'm hopeful, and I'm buying the Cam Ward stock here for week 3.
I like it. He looks good, man. He looks really good. I think I didn't have a ton. I don't know. I liked what I saw. I didn't know about his leadership, him walking off the field at bowl games and stuff like that. Obviously, the Browns second overall had an option to possibly draft him. I liked what I saw, and he looks to be the real deal. And I'm excited. I'm excited for fantasy this year. I think that maybe they got a good team finally. So.
Yeah.
All right. My running back this week is Kenneth Walker. Right back for the Seattle Seahawks. 35% snap count last week, 13 carries, 105 yards, 1 touchdown, and then 1 catch for 13 yards. Again, compared to Zach Charbonnet, who had 55% snap count for 15 carries and 10 yards. Buns. I mean, that's 1.5 yards per carry. Not good. I like Charbonnet. I don't love the mix, and I think that clearly. Walker has shown that he can produce with less percentage. So I expect them to flip that percentage. I think that Charbonnet will no longer have 55%. He'll probably have 35, and then Walker will have 55, and hopefully just continue to produce like he did last week. When he's healthy, he can be really dynamic. The problem is that you've been constantly injured. A lot of him compared to like J.K. Dobbins type. But he looks good. He's healthy right now, and I think that he could take over this backfield. So
yeah, I think he could too. It's interesting though, because I feel like those two, Charbonnet and Walker, always alternate hot hands. I think that they need to figure out now you're on the hot hand, so now we're going to ride you for the whole game. So once they figure that out, I think it'll be much better.
They played the Saints this week too, which is just an okay defense. So
yeah. For my running back, I mentioned his name earlier, but Tyler Algier is my long shot running back. I know that there's a big threat above him in Bijan Robinson, but they're going up against the Panthers, and I think that they will be able to run the football all over him. I think that Tyler Algier proved that he can be a fantasy relevant running back by scoring points and scoring touchdowns, and I think that he'll do just that against the Panthers. He'll be their short yardage person in the red zone, and having over 8 yards a carry last week, I think that he'll get a lot more touches this week. And so I am putting him into my starting lineup for some leagues, and I'm really excited about it. So.
Awesome. All right, yeah, so those of you just joining us right now, we're going through our long shot lineup. These are sleepers from each position that we're going through explaining. They're not maybe the best guys, the number one guys to start each week, but these guys, maybe they think they got a nice matchup, or or just we think they'll have a good week this week. So I'm going to start with my first receiver, Terry McLaurin.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 5 catches on 9 targets, 41 yards last week, but he had a 91% snap count, which is huge. Seems to be healthy. I understand that Jaden Daniels is probably not going to play this game, but I don't hate Marcus Mariota. I expect him to get the ball out early and often. He'll look for Terry and Debo. Debo looks great as well, especially in the backfield that lost Austin Eckler with the Achilles injury. They have late round pick Bill Krosky-Merritt, who looks promising, looks good. David loves him. Everyone loves this guy. Everyone loves Bill. The Chuck Norris jokes are with Bill Krosky all over. Yeah, like the footballers do that.
They're funny.
Their podcast is awesome.
Bill Krosky.
So he'll be starting. I think McLaren, they're going to look for him. They're going to look for the vet receivers to lead the team until Jaden Daniels get out there. And then I think they're going to continue that. And hopefully Bill can get that running back room going. It's going to be a tough task for a rookie, though, especially with all these rookies not doing well. The high drafted ones, Amari and Hampton in the first round, Henderson in the second round. Ken Bill, who, what was he, like a 5th round pick or a 6th round pick?
I think he was a 6th.
7th. Okay. I think, very late. Nonetheless, he looks good. We'll see how he can handle that workload. So give me McLaurin to get more targets, even with Mariota in there.
Yeah, I like that. I like the increase in targets that he had from week 1 to week 2. It's really encouraging, and obviously he's on the field a lot, and so I think that he'll have a bounce back week this week for sure. My wide receiver, I paired with my quarterback, and I'm going with Elikeo Manor, the rookie. He caught his first touchdown pass last week. I do love him. I think he's going to be good. He caught his first touchdown pass last week, and I think that now he's somebody who's going to be a lot more reliable for Cam Ward to go to, and he's kind of proven that all last week. So I think, again, there's going to be some building opportunities playing against the Colts. They'll focus primarily on Calvin Ridley, and I think Elikeo Manor is going to get a lot of targets and get a lot of yards. And so he's my wide receiver 1.
Good pick.
Thank you.
Yeah, good pick. All right, so my wide receiver 2 is wide receiver Alec Airminer from the Titans.
Steal him. Swipe or no swipe.
Yeah, well, David and I don't talk about these beforehand. We like to surprise each other, so that's funny. No, I like this. This is fun.
Notes.
No, forget that. 4 catches on 6 targets for 56 yards. Hey, that just means that both of us are double down on this dude. So we think he's gonna have a good week.
Start him.
He has a promising week. 4 catches on 6 targets for 56 yards and a touchdown last week. Had over 70% snap count. First 2 weeks, both weeks over 70%, which is really good. Only 1 less target than Calvin Ridley in those 2 weeks as well. Play the Colts week 3. The Colts have a good all-around team. Their offense looks so good right now. I'm loving the Colts, including a top 10 defense so far. But I think that the rookie connection, will work. I mean, like you said, he looks really good. I think their connection is going to get stronger. Him and Ward, and Alec Airminer is going to get some points this week, I think. So
I agree.
He's going to be a good asset for the season as well. Stash him.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So my second wide receiver is a year 2 wide receiver who's currently breaking out, and that would be Troy Franklin for the Denver Broncos. He is somebody who had a really explosive first week in fantasy football. And you're like, oh, okay, so yeah, he was just open a lot. Maybe that was fluke. Right. Let's see if he can do it again. And then last week, I forget his stats off the top of my head. Hold on, let me pull him up. He had
9 catches, 89 yards, and a touchdown.
Yep.
8 catches.
So,
8 catches.
Yeah, averaging almost 10 yards a catch. And so I think that this week they're going up against the Chargers. I think that that's a team in a matchup that could be really explosive. It could produce a lot of fantasy points. And so I think the Chargers defense is going to work on focusing on Cortland Sutton. And I think that there'll be some big explosive plays for Troy Franklin down the seam or down the sidelines for him to score a deep touchdown or 2. So
great pick.
I like Troy Franklin.
Go ahead and do your tight end.
Oh, my tight end. You should know who it is at this point.
Go ahead.
Luke Farrell, ladies and gentlemen. So my guy Luke, he last week was the
49ers tight end
for the 49ers. George Kittle's on IR. He'll be back soon eventually, but Luke Farrell caught, was it 4 passes? Hold on, I'll pull it up real fast.
You got to write down your stats for now on.
I know, I need to. He actually had 2 catches for 15 yards and a touchdown. So not great, but still averaged 7.5 yards a catch and had that touchdown. And I think, as I said last week in the episode, he's going to become a red zone target for that offense. Somebody that can be relied upon for those 20 yards touchdown plays. And so somebody that I'm definitely high on again this week. They are going up against the Cardinals, who they have good corners, but their safety linebackers are still pretty weak. And so I think he'll be open in the middle of the field to be able to get some yak after the catch.
Did I see that Denzel Burke was playing for the corner for the Cardinals?
I did not see that.
I thought maybe Will was injured. I saw Denzel Burke was playing rookie Buckeye, which was kind of cool. I would check that out too. But yeah, I agree. I think that's a really good pick. So
thank you.
David and his brother grew up with Luke Farrell. Like I said, I think we talked about this last week, but David's younger brother was Luke's quarterback in high school, so pretty cool. All right, my tight end, Hunter Henry from the Patriots.
That's a good pick. I like that pick.
Last week, 1 catch on 3 targets, only for 9 yards. Not very great. But again, his snap percentage is unreal, 93% in week 1 and then 85 in week 2. So he's on the field pretty much the entire game. The Patriots play Pittsburgh, whose defense has looked awful in the first 2 weeks, like really, really bad, averaging 394.5 yards per game and giving up 8 touchdowns in the first 2 weeks. Like that's awful compared to the Browns. That's in half, With Henry, Drake May, he was 19 for 23, 230 yards and 2 touchdowns with 10 rushes, 31 yards last week. May's, right now playing well. The 7th fantasy quarterback, according to Sleeper, and Henry on the field practically the entire game. It just makes sense that he's going to be targeted. They're gonna scheme him open. He's out there. They like running the ball, but they don't have a ton of options for receiver. I mean, Kayshon Boutte looks pretty good. I haven't even looked into they have Kyle Hamilton, Stephon Diggs. I haven't even looked into them, but I don't think they're super fantasy relevant because I've heard their name in a couple minutes. But Henry should get the ball. He's out the entire game, and like I said, considering the Steelers defense is playing very poorly, I anticipate that he's gonna have a good week. So.
Yeah, I agree. I was actually trying to trade for Hunter Henry this past weekend when it was unsure if Brock Bowers was going to play. I was trying to make that trade. So didn't go through, but I like him. It's a good pick. All righty. So our next...
Wait, you got a flex?
Oh, yeah, we do have a flex. Oh, Wandale Robinson. Wow, I can't talk. Yeah, he was my flex. Talked about it earlier a little bit, but somebody who should have been available in waivers this week. So if you were able to pick him up, I would definitely go ahead and start him. He's just become a target machine for that Giants offense. Somebody that's kind of become the check down Charlie in a sense for Russell Wilson.
He can catch it deep though too. He's had some great. He had a great touchdown deep, double coverage too. So
So yeah, it makes a good contested catch. But yeah, definitely somebody worthy of being in starting lineups.
It's a good pick. My flex is Jaylen Warren, running back for the Steelers. Last week, 14 carries, 48 yards. Not very great, but then he had 4 catches on 4 targets for 86 receiving yards against a Seahawks defense, who's pretty good defense. This week they play the Patriots. I think the Steelers as a whole, I think they're gonna have a difficult season. Will Aaron Rodgers continue to be okay? I don't know. They have DK Metcalf and then Calvin Austin as their second receiver. Not really anything great. Jonathan Smith hasn't been playing really great. Their rookie. I'm losing his name right now. Running back,
Caleb Johnson.
Caleb Johnson. Yeah, I actually really liked him coming out of Iowa. He didn't look great at the combine. He slid to the 3rd round this year, and he just made the biggest bonehead. It was hilarious. A huge bonehead mistake of letting a kickoff go into the end zone and then letting the defense recover it for a touchdown. You completely just let it go by him and then walked off the field. He doesn't know the rules for that position, so that's embarrassing. I think it's safe to say that Jaylen Warren probably his job is secure for now. He signed a couple-year contract extension just a couple months ago. Yeah. I think he did really well last week. 4 catches, 86 yards. That's invaluable for running back in fantasy. And you combine that with maybe a touchdown here or there, or maybe a little bit more workload, more than 14 carries. I think he's going to be a pretty decent asset and a weapon for Aaron Rodgers. So
yeah, I like that.
In a not good offense. So
yeah, he kind of be mainly the focal point for fantasy from that offense for a while.
All
right, so before we jump into our next section, real quickly, I wanted to give a couple of other players that I liked for some DFS value for this week.
I actually have a couple too, real quick.
Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah, so a couple of mine. You brought up one of them. My tight end was Hunter Henry. I liked him for this matchup this week. I said Bo Nix for my quarterback. I said, what's his face? Tony Pollard for the running back this week. For some reason, I'm high on the Tennessee offense this week. Don't know why. Probably shouldn't be, but I like him. And then I said Cortland Sutton is another wide receiver that you could target this week as well.
Nice.
So yeah, those are some of my DFS values this week.
Nice. I have Josh Allen against the Dolphins. Stream anyone against the Dolphins. Like I said, they're horrible. Josh Allen will be great, and it's gonna be a bloodbath. He's gonna be QB1 this week. My running back, I have Bijan Robinson against the Panthers. Bijan looked really, really good against the Vikings last week. Stacky had 22 rushes for 143 yards, 5 catches for 25 yards. Dude, if he plays like that every week, he's gonna be RB1 this year, and he's gonna be really, really good. I played the Panthers this week. The Panthers have given up the most rushing yards so far this season compared to any other NFL team at 179.82 yards per game. He should benefit handsomely from that. I would start Bijan against a mediocre run defense. Wide receiver Malik Neighbors against the Chiefs. Put on a show last week. 9 catches of 13 yards, 167 or 9 catches, 13 targets, 167 yards and 2 touchdowns against the Cowboys. An okay defense. He's the wide receiver 2 in all of fantasy so far this season behind Puka, and I think he'll probably push that for that spot if Russell Wilson can continue to just feed him the way he did this week compared to week 1 where he wasn't super great. Hopefully he can replicate that. That will be the major question. Mm-hmm. But I'm confident that Russ will continue because that just makes sense. So I don't care; it doesn't matter. I think he's QB proof. I just go Malik Neighbors. And then my tight end, last one, Tyler Warren. Again, I last week I talked about him. I think I talked about week 1. This guy is probably going to become my new Pookie. That's like a guy that no matter what I'm going to love. Him. Garrett Wilson is another guy. Tyler Warren. He's 4 catches, 7 targets for 79 yards in week 2. Top 4 fantasy tight end as a rookie right now, and he's in line for just a phenomenal rookie season. As I listed, Sam Laporta, Brock Bowers, Tyler Warren, maybe Harold Fenton now, but these guys, no longer are tight ends or rookies non-draftable because usually it takes 2 to 3 years to get them going. Like you see with Trey McBride or Tucker Kraft, but these guys are getting the ball in volume and being successful. So this is hopefully it's an exciting new trend for fantasy because it's so hard to have a fantasy dominant tight end, and now it looks like that one's just coming and emerging every single year. So
yep. Yeah.
Tyler Warren to the moon.
To the moon. All righty. So now let's jump into our sleepers and creepers, our waiver wire additions or drops. Sure. So yeah, the first one that I had for this waiver wire edition is a running back for the LA Rams, and that would be Blake Corum. He is somebody who I think could really carve out a much bigger workload for himself. He looked good to start the preseason, and then didn't do much week 1. But last week, carried the ball 5 times for 44 yards and a touchdown. So averaging 8.8 yards a carry. I think if he's available in your leagues, go ahead and stash him and put him on your bench. If for any reason the what's the running back's name? Kyron Williams, has to miss time for the Rams. He's going to jump in and be an RB1 automatically. He's talented. He's got the potential to be there, and I think he'll even start carving out more of a role for himself after the performance he had last week. So go get Blake Corum.
We'll see.
How do
I'm not a fan of Corum, but I mean, he has looked okay. We'll see if he gets the workload. There's not much sample size there, and I really believe in Kyron, so I think McVay does too. But I mean, he's a good stash. Why not?
Yeah.
All right. Which one are you doing here? Sorry. Which segment was it? Oh, this is waivers. All right. Yeah. This is so I have a couple deep cuts, like really, really, really super deep sleepers. Okay.
Okay, let's hear him.
I have and one decent one. I'll start with I guess the decent one first, then I'll go deep cuts. So Troy Franklin, you mentioned him earlier. He's only 50% rostered on Sleeper right now, so that means over half, about half the leagues on Sleeper does not have this guy rostered, and he is clearly the number one receiver on a Broncos team where Bo Nix is relatively decent. He was top 10 last year as a rookie. He had an 83% snap count last week, and 12 catches on 15 targets. That's a lot of dots. 8 catches on 9 targets, 89 yards, a touchdown. That was last week. That's a lot of dots. This guy. Cortland Sutton is supposed to be the number one. If Troy Franklin is the number 2 and it continues like this, I'm gonna pick him up on waivers. Like I said, only 50% rostered right now on Sleeper. So.
Yeah, I like that. That's good.
Thanks.
My next sleeper to get from the waiver wires would be none other than Jake Browning, the new quarterback 1 in Cincinnati. As you mentioned earlier, Joe Burrow is going to be out for probably close to 3 months with a toe injury. Dude. And so while Jake Browning may not be the same level as Joe Burrow talent-wise, he still has the same level of weapons around him, and I think we kind of saw that this past week when he kind of just force-fed Jamar Chase the ball. I think that he will still get good numbers fantasy-wise for just feeding like Jamar Chase and T. Higgins the ball. And this is not the first time that we've seen Jake Browning fill in for Joe Burrow and do well. We saw it last year when Joe Burrow was out for a little bit. He stepped in and won a few games for them. So I think that there's potential for him to still be good and relevant for fantasy purposes. So pick him up if you're weak in the quarterback room. Pick him up just to see how he does his first couple of weeks, and maybe you can start him in the lineup where you have a bad matchup with your other quarterback. So I like Jake Browning a little bit. So
this is a good pickup. He should already be rostered in super flex leagues and stuff like that. But redraft, he's going to be a starting quarterback for the next 3 months. He's got a top receiver in Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins is no slouch. Chase Brown in the backfield. He's going to be fantasy relevant, so I think it's a really good pickup. And he's obviously not rostered in a ton of leagues right now because he was not relevant. So
as of today, it's only 65%. So
that's not bad. Yeah. So get on that. All right. So my deep cuts. All right. This news today. Okay. Chase Edmonds. Running back for the Commanders. He just signed today on the practice squad. I expect him to assume the RB2 role behind Bill Crosby-Merritt very soon. He's 0% rostered on Sleeper. This is a true waiver sleeper here. This is obviously for deeper leagues. Stash him. But, I don't believe in Chris Rodriguez. I think that, either they're obviously wanting someone who's going to step in and hopefully contribute. And, Bill Crosby-Merritt, as the RB2, was contributing immediately behind Austin Eckler. So it just makes sense that this guy, could be next in line. I would also pick up Chris Rodriguez just in case. But one of those guys are going to get, a fantasy bump, and they're not really rostered too much. So this guy's 0%.
Yeah. My last sleeper that I had for this, I only did 3, but I had Parker Washington from the Jags. As we mentioned earlier, BTJ struggling. I don't think that they're ever going to move away from BTJ ever, but it's going to be somebody's going to need help step in and fill the role of bad play. So I think Parker Washington, who had the stats here in front of me, 5 catches for 75 yards last week, has potential to become a wide receiver 3 in that offense, which is a very high passing offense, and he's only rostered in 30% of teams in Sleeper. And so definitely somebody to keep an eye on who could kind of fill in when needed to and be somebody that could be relied on by Trevor Lawrence. And so I'm not huge on the Jaguars as a whole, but definitely a good sleeper to pick up on waiver wires and stash to see how he progresses or not. So
it's going to be between him and Diami Brown for that wide receiver 3 role.
Yep.
He had 5 catches for 7 targets, 57 yards and a touchdown. So it's going to be him and Parker Washington, but it's worth a stash for either one, especially since he said Washington's not very stashed at all. That's definitely a good guy to watch. My last guy, I also did 3. This is a super deep cut. Des Walker, receiver for the Ravens. Could be picked up in deeper leagues, really deeper leagues. Don't get me wrong. I don't expect a ton of return immediately. However, last week in his second game played, he is a second year player. Last year was rookie year out of North Carolina. He played 1 game last year with 1 catch, 21 yards and a touchdown. 1 game, 1 catch, 1 touchdown. last week against the Browns, he played a little bit. He got 2 catches, 26 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So
all he does is catch.
all he does, he has 3 catches in the NFL for 3 touchdowns. I'm not saying this guy's going to be the next up and coming. I don't know. I mean, they have DeAndre Hopkins, Rashad Bateman, Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews. Hopefully Isaiah Likely comes back soon at the tight end room. Not to mention the running backs who got stopped crazily stopped by the Browns last week.
Yeah.
But I mean, he could be, maybe the wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4. I mean, he looked really good last week against the Browns, and the Browns have a really good defense. Had some both catches looked phenomenal. So yeah, stash him, Des Walker, Ravens.
I think he's going to carve out more of a role for himself if he just keeps catching touchdowns. So
we'll see. I mean, they just extended Bateman. Obviously, Zay Flowers is going to be number 1. The guy who he beat out was probably DeAndre Hopkins. Hopkins looks good this year too. He's old though. He's on a 1-year contract. He's a journeyman at this point. So hopefully, Des can carve out that role. But I liked him coming out of North Carolina. He was a Kent State guy before that. We'll see. Stash him.
Yeah, I like it. So to make room for some of those sleepers on your team, we're gonna have to cut some people. So here's some people that I think should be cut. I have 2 tight ends on here.
Real quick, sorry. Just add in. I mentioned Sleeper because I think it's the top fantasy app, so I'm just gonna go with Sleeper. But the most added players this week, Jake Browning was added 1.7 million times on waivers. Daniel Jones was added 864,000 times. Daniel Jones looks so good with the Colts. Wow. Oh my gosh, I'm really pissed that TJ stole him for $1, and now he won't trade him to me. So I jaded Daniels and he's hurt, so I need a backup running back or quarterback to play, and he won't give me Daniel Jones. So Troy Franklin, 793,000 times he was added. Ramondre Stevenson, 771,000. Zach Ertz, 739. Carson Wentz was next at 622. Seattle's defense at 582. And then Bashaw 2 and the running back for the Jaguars at 418,000. So those guys have been added a ton of waivers. So you should be targeting them as well because consensus say that those guys will be the next fantasy relevant waiver pickups.
Yeah.
Sorry. All right, go ahead. Sorry about that. So these are your players to avoid. These are your creepers. So you can go ahead.
These are players I'm avoiding and or dropping off of my team in general. So the first one that I have Evan Ingram on here. He is somebody who's really all hype and does nothing. I've been very disappointed in him. He, really ever since he's left Jacksonville has literally done nothing. Last week he had 2 targets and 1 catch for 12 yards. That's it. So he's not doing anything relevant wise. He's not even becoming any involved in the passing game at all. So I would just be avoiding him, dropping him for another player on the waiver wires. Just be finding a way to get him off my team because he's just taking up space at that point.
Yeah, it sucks because in the Sean Payton offense, you always hope that Ingram hasn't been bad. He's had flashes. I don't think he's the best tight end out there, but you think that Jimmy Graham role, he would like to utilize that role. But I mean, he loves Adam Troutman. Troutman can block for the Broncos as well, and he's been catching touchdowns. And it's just he's making Ingram irrelevant. And it stinks because I was somebody who I thought he could have been someone relevant this year, could have been good in that offense. I was hopeful, but I mean, I guess either Payton's not looking for that kind of offense anymore. He's just trying to run the ball, and then throw it to Troy Franklin a ton, and that's about it. So,
hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I guess, yeah. All right, my first creeper, running back Brian Robinson Jr. for the 49ers. He's rostered 75% on Sleeper, so a lot of teams have him. 15 rushes for 53 yards in 2 weeks. He should not be rostered unless you're in a deep league. I mean, he's going to be fantasy irrelevant unless CMC goes down, which is possible. I mean, let's be real, CMC has been injured significantly the last few years. But unless that's the case, then he's fantasy irrelevant. He's not going to play, and he's just wasting a spot. Deeper leagues, I would keep him, but if this is just a redraft league where you're trying to beat your family, 8-10 teams, he should not be on your team. You can find somebody else. So.
That's a good one. I would definitely move on from him. Somebody else who I'm trying to move on from and really honestly try to trade away, especially for dynasty leagues or even keeper leagues, is Mark Andrews. He's somebody who's kind of not become relevant or involved in the passing game again for the Ravens. We kind of had a slow start with him last year where Isaiah Likely looked like he was taking over Mark Andrews' role, and then Mark Andrews came back into play. And it's still possible that he could, but I'm not really buying the hype, especially with all the other receivers that are around him. Zay Flowers looked like a target machine for him. DeAndre Hopkins is kind of looking like he's getting a little resurgence. You talked about Tez Walker. There's all those other wide receivers on the team that are really taking more of Lamar's attention. And so I think the tight end position in general for now has kind of become put on the back burner. And so I'm trying to sell Mark Andrews as quickly as I possibly can to move on from him and get draft capital, get another player, get one of these sleepers off the waiver wire. So I'm moving on from him.
Yeah, fortunately, I think you're a year too late on that. And when Isaiah Likely comes back, I think that he's just going to be a little more fantasy irrelevant. I don't know. We'll see. I've heard rumors that they've been disgruntled. He's been looking to maybe have a change of scenery this past year, but then they worked it out. So I mean, if he is not fantasy relevant this year and continues to be the guy that he was in the past, I think there'll be a change of scenery for sure for Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
My second guy is Marvin Mims Jr. for the Broncos. 2 weeks, 6 catches, 36 yards, and a touchdown. Not good at all. Troy Franklin is clearly taking over the wide receiver 2 role. I mean, Marvin Mims does do kick returns and punt returns, so if your league does score on special teams, maybe keep him rostered. But other than that, he's fantasy irrelevant. He's not rostered, or should not be rostered rather. He's only got 36% snap count in the first 2 weeks. Not very good. Unless it's a very deep league, you don't need him.
Yeah, I agree with that. I got one last creeper here who I don't like either. That would be somebody you mentioned earlier, Calvin Austin. He is rostered on 85% of leagues or teams as sleeper, which is way too many in my mind.
Yeah.
Last week he had 1 catch on 4 targets for 22 yards. And the week before that, he had 4 catches for 70 yards and a touchdown. And so he had a little bit of relevancy for that first week of fantasy football, but really did nothing last week. And I think he'll just kind of continue to do nothing in that offense. I'm not convinced that that's going to be a very passing dynamic offense. And unless he's catching deep passes from Aaron Rodgers for touchdowns, he's just going to not be relevant at all for fantasy football. And so I'd definitely be working to try and move on from him.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I don't know. These guys, I think the Steelers defense or offense in general is just not good at all.
I agree.
My last one I have is actually Steeler as well. Running back Caleb Johnson. He's a rookie out of Iowa. He's 59% owned right now, and his snap count week 1 is 3%, and week 1 is 4%. Sorry, that's higher than week 2, which was 3%. He will not see the field this year if he continues to make bonehead mistakes. I mean, like I said, I mentioned it before. Go check out the play where he missed that kickoff and just went over through his hands, didn't touch it, landed in the end zone, and he just walked off the field. Obviously, that's a live ball. It didn't go to the back of the end zone. You got to get that ball. You got to recover it. You got to take it. Defense recovered it, scored a touchdown. He's not going to see the field if he continues that way. I mean, I don't know. I had faith in him. I thought he looked good in Iowa. But it's just, Jaylen Warren just got extended and he's playing well. He's going to get the ball more. I would drop this guy unless you're in Dynasty. Keep him in Dynasty, clearly. I mean, you can hold him on your taxi until he plays. But, 4%, 3% snap count, irrelevant. So,
yep. Agreed. All righty. Well, shall we get into our last segment, our favorite one for the day?
It's my anniversary. I want to go kiss my wife.
Yeah, so let's jump in. We're going to talk about our favorite segment, Fix My Fantasy Team. So
FMFT.
FMFT. Every week we ask on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram to have people post questions about how they can fix their fantasy football team. We will do our best to give advice and how we can. We like to think we're pretty smart when it comes to fantasy football, so we will definitely guide you in the right direction and give you our best advice.
We'll try to.
I've
been making some boneheaded picks the last couple of weeks, so we'll see.
Well, I think
freaking Brian Thomas Jr. What the heck? All right. Yeah, go ahead. I'll read the first one. Okay. Question from Jacob Stead. Do you think that Daniel Jones is the real deal? I have a feeling that he is about to revitalize his career like Darnold or Geno. If he is, does this make Anthony Richard irrelevant in fantasy, especially in redraft? Daniel Jones, I mean, it's hard to, you see what you got in the field, and it's really good. This offense looks phenomenal. I think, like I said, I'm going to gas up Tyler Warren forever. Jonathan Taylor looks great. The receivers look good. Hopefully Josh Downs gets a little bit more. Pittman looks good. Even DJ Giddens looks good as the backup running back. This team eats, and Daniel Jones looks like he's really, really good. The team loves Anthony Richardson. Actually, I listened to it's called the Downs to Down podcast. It's Josh Downs and Caleb Downs. They are brothers. Josh Downs is a receiver for the Colts, and Caleb Downs is a safety for the Ohio State Buckeyes. And Josh Downs talks about teams a lot. The Colts, and he says that the team still loves Anthony Richardson. That he's still a beast. He's just he's in his head a lot. And hopefully he just can stay healthy. That's the biggest issue. But as long as Daniel Jones is continuing to play that way, Anthony Richardson is going to sit. Could he be a trade asset? Could Daniel Jones be looking to take the Sam Darnold route, Geno Smith route, go somewhere else, and be the quarterback elsewhere? I wouldn't. I mean, that team looks really good. He looks really good with that team. It's up in the air with Richardson, but I don't think he's irrelevant. I think he'd be one hell of a tight end personally, but maybe that's just me. So, sure. But I think Daniel Jones is the real deal until he plays otherwise. It's stupid to think, that he's not going to be. And Richardson is relevant. I'd stash him just to stash him. We'll see. So,
Yeah, I don't disagree. I think that until proven otherwise, you got to keep believing the hype in Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
I think that there's enough weapons around him to keep him fantasy relevant and to keep him in that
They look good, man.
QB1, QB2 category. Yeah, he's looking good. Tyler Warren. I also think Josh Downs will get more involved
I
as the
think so too.
season goes along. So yeah, I'm definitely a believer. Until proven otherwise. So. Yeah, great question. Thanks, Jacob. The next one comes from Joe on X. Trade Bucky for Chase Brown? Question mark. I'm going to go ahead and say no for this one. The only reason why is because we were hoping to see Bucky become more of the workhorse for his offense, and I feel like last week Rachaad White definitely took some of those carries back towards him a little bit. He got a late game touchdown. I definitely think Bucky's more of the receiving threat when it comes to the running back, but I think some of those red zone, end zone touchdown scores are going to go towards Rachaad White. And so I think Chase Brown is the workhorse now with Jake Browning. I would definitely not be trading Chase Brown away. So I would definitely want to keep Chase Brown as the workhorse for the Jake Browning quarterback offense. He's still going to be the check down person who's still going to be running the football. So that's
the question was trade Bucky for Chase Brown. So in this case, you're not trading Bucky for Chase Brown, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Wait. I think no. In this case, I would trade Bucky for Chase Brown. Sorry.
You want Chase Brown? I'm sorry. Okay.
Yes, I want Chase Brown.
Perfect. Got you. Okay. No, you're good. I just want to make sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I kind of would rather keep Bucky. I don't know. I really like the offense. Bucky. I was right on Bucky. Okay. I drafted him in our dynasty in the 4th round, super cheap contract to do dynasty auction draft. And I'm excited. I think he still has 6 catches for 50 yards on the backfield. He's going to catch balls. And I think when Godwin gets in, I don't think Rachaad White is efficient. I don't. And I think Bucky was very efficient last year. And I think he will continue to be efficient. I don't like how he's eating his carries, but he still had 17 attempts for 71 yards. Bucky's still really, really good. And I'm a little nervous with Browning and the Bengals offense. I would at least, Chase Brown's going to eat. He's going to be good. He's also going to catch balls out of the backfield. But it's a toss-up for me. I personally just keep Bucky, but I could also argue for Brown, like David said. So
yeah, I personally give the advantage to Brown just because of Jake Browning now being the quarterback. But
there you go. All right, I'm gonna ask you a question.
Okay,
from Penguin 95. He says, I'm in an auction keeper league and I signed Stroud from 24 to 27 as a keeper. So he's keeping him until the end of 2027. Ouch. Yep. I'm never going to play him, but if I drop him, then for 26 and 27, I lose 21 of my draft budget of 300. Then he'll only have 297 or 279 to draft. Should he drop him to open a spot? This is an auction keeper league, David. He has him until 27.
Is it a super flex?
At 21. It doesn't say that. I'm assuming no.
Okay.
If it's super flex, you absolutely keep him. That's a no-brainer.
Yeah. I would still keep him personally, just because I think losing that fab money is going to be bad in the long run. Sure, it ties up your keeper spot for the foreseeable couple of years, but I just think having that fab money, is going to be more important than having or not having CJ Stroud. And who knows? He could bounce back. He could not. I still believe in him, but I would keep him.
100%. I think that this is not Stroud's fault at all. The offensive line for Houston Texans is awful. The receivers are dropping like fries. Yeah, or fries. In boiling oil. Like flies. Nico Collins is really good. Jaden Higgins is lost. He's not looking great at all. They have Jalen Noel. Dalton Schultz is tight end. The running back room, they were planning on Joe Mixon being the guy. Nick Chubb has to come in because Nixon's not playing well. Nick Chubb is very inefficient, but he's playing okay. Woody Marks also is a rookie out of USC who looks really good. But that offensive line, Stroud's not going to be able to do anything if he doesn't have time to throw the ball. I have faith in Stroud. I would keep him, especially $21 out of the budget is not worth it. I don't think I would just keep him just for that. But nonetheless, I still have faith in Stroud. It's not his fault. He's a good quarterback.
Yeah, and I think he will bounce back. He's going to have a long career, so it's worth keeping on to.
All right. James Peter says, who are your favorite fantasy prospects? I'm guessing rookies in the 2026 draft. Do you have any you want to list off? I have a decent list here.
Oh, man. I got Drew Aller is one of the quarterbacks I'm watching.
You love Aller, man. Aller's a local guy, obviously, up here by Cleveland, so I don't matter.
I just like the fact that he went back to school to continue to want to grow and learn and just develop as more of a passer. He doesn't have the dynamic wide receivers around him in that passing offense, so he's kind of having to carry people a little bit. So I like that aspect too. I also really like what's his name? Nick.
What team?
I forget to get his last name.
What
The
team?
wide receiver for the South Carolina.
Oh, Nick Harbor, baby. Come on.
Harbor, thank you. Yes.
Come on, that's my
the
guy.
speedster. Yes, he literally just looks like athletic freak out there. I think he needs to grow in his catching ability. His hands seem a little too stiff at times, but he creates great separation, gets open, and I think he's going to be a really good prospect next year in the draft. So
yeah, Harbor is. I mean, he was Olympic trial fast. I think he's like 6'4", 230, 240 pounds. Huge guy. He should not be that fast.
Built.
He's huge, but his hands are questionable. A lot of people saying that it's time to put him in the dirt and go play defensive end. I don't know, man. I get him at tight end. I think it's over. I really like Nick Harbor. I have a decent list here. I'm not going to go in depth of every guy, but I'll just name some guys off of each position that you should be looking for in the draft upcoming, especially if you're an NFL draft like I am or a mock draft simulator guy. Quarterbacks, Lenore Sellers out of South Carolina. I really like Sellers a lot. He's a great runner, really big guy. Fernando Mendoza, QB out of Indiana's got to look at. He's been just having monster numbers, especially the first 3 weeks. John Mateer, quarterback out of Oklahoma, dual threat quarterback. He reminds me of Baker Mayfield. He like so much. He's got that swagger. He's ready to put his nose out and run. I like John Mateer a lot. Garrett Nussmeier, QB out of LSU, I like a lot. And then Drew Aller, like David said, we got to look for from Penn State. Running backs, Jeremiah Love, running back out of Notre Dame. They're saying consensus probably going to be the top running back out of the draft next year. We'll see. Nick Singleton, running back out of Penn State, really, really good, reliable back. Trey Wisner, running back out of Texas. Justice Haynes, the running back out of Michigan, and then another running back out of Penn State, Katron Allen. If he wasn't behind Nick Singleton, he would be. It's kind of like the Quinshon Judkins and Trey Henderson situation. So both of these guys came back for the senior year to hopefully win a national championship. I think the Buckeyes are going to beat them again and be back to back, but we'll see. Receivers. Top receiver they're saying right now is Jordan Tyson out of Arizona State, really good. Carnell Tate, Buckeye, gonna probably. I think he's gonna be a first round pick. A lot of people are saying probably second. He's gonna be a first round pick. Antonio Williams, Clemson, Mekhi Lemon, USC, Kevin Concepcion, Texas A&M. He was with NC State last year. I love this dude. He's really, really good, really reliable. Eric Singleton from Auburn, and then the last Nick Harbor, as you mentioned, from South Carolina. Just is if he can figure it out, he's going to be a fantasy football specimen. He's going to be really good. Yeah. I mean, like if he's Megatron without hands, so we'll see.
And,
with okay hands, he's not awful, but he drops a lot of balls. And then tight ends, real quick, I have a couple. Kenyon Sadiq out of Oregon, I really like. Jack Andrews out of Texas, I think is really good. He played for Cal last year, and then week 1 against Ohio State, he was the lead target getter other than Livingston, the rookie receiver, freshman receiver. Sorry, and then Max Clare from Ohio State. Right now, Ohio State is like mix and matching their tight ends: Bennett Christian, Jelani Thurman, Max Clare. But Max Clare was the top 3 tight end last year with Purdue, the number 1 pass catch. Basically their entire offense for Purdue, and then he's coming over here to Ohio State with a lot of targets that only one person can get the ball at the same time. So. I think Claire will step it up more and get more balls, but he's really, really good. So,
yeah,
that's my list. Sorry it's long, but hopefully that answers James. Those are my favorite fantasy prospects for the 2026 draft.
He has been diving deep for a long time in those fantasy prospects. So
yeah, I do.
Great question.
I do college fantasy football, so I try to scout high school players. So I'm a little crazy.
Alrighty, we got 2 more questions here to talk through.
Okay.
Ryan Murray on X says, trying to decide who to start between Ricky Pearsall, Calvin Ridley, or JCM for my full PPR league. Help me out here.
Okay. Ridley, JCM, and what was the first one?
Ricky Pearsall.
Man, that's tough. I mean, I'd like to say JCM. I mean, it's an open backfield now. He's talking about, obviously, you're talking about Bill Krosky-Merritt for the running back for the Commanders. It's open backfield. He's going to be RB1. And their starting quarterback is iffy. We'll see. He's MRI. What came back with a sprained knee with Jaden Daniels. So I mean, everything points to him getting the ball. I like Ridley, but like I said, they have like Aaron Miner. I don't know the matchup for the Titans.
The Colts. That's who they're playing.
Yeah, and who was the very first guy I said? I'm sorry.
Ricky Pearsall.
Yeah, I like Pearsall, but Juwan Jennings. I mean, he led last week with receptions, and I just think it'll be a toss-up without Brock Purdy out there. So give me JCM. It's a tough question just because he hasn't had the load. He is a rookie. There's a lot on his plate, but the opportunity is there, and I like opportunity. So let me take that one.
Yep. As somebody who has 2 out of these 3 players on his fantasy team, I would pick JCM as well. Okay. I actually have him starting over Calvin Ridley in my dynasty team. So definitely agreeing with you on that one. So
thanks, Ryan Murray, for that question.
All righty, we got one. Yeah, one more. This is from Terry Holmes on Twitter. In a dynasty league, what is the trade value for Amon-Ra St. Brown? Well, after the week he just had, it's probably going to be like 3 or 4 first-round picks.
That's
He
a lot of
literally
first-round
exploded.
picks.
Yeah. In a dynasty league, he's still young. What is he, like 27 now?
25.
25. Still
Only played 4
young.
years. So far, yeah.
So yeah, I think at least 2 first-round picks. I would probably try and get 3 if you're selling him. But definitely still a very valuable asset to have in dynasty. So
yeah, I can see you getting 3 first-round picks. They probably won't be 2026. I mean, the coveted picks for dynasty leagues right now are 2027 first-round picks. Yep. I mean, everyone's Jeremiah Smith. I mean, they're saying that maybe Arch Manning, if he can turn it around, we'll see if he's actually exposed or not. But a lot of these quarterbacks, really good quarterbacks, it's gonna be a great class. And then Ryan Williams as well, the receiver out of Alabama.
Yep.
So 2027 is the first round picks you want to be targeting right now. 26 will have some good players, but it'll be front loaded just like 25 was. And we'll see if 25 was any good. We don't know because these running backs haven't been playing well. Amon St. Brown, I think 3 first-round picks, but you could probably get away with 2 first-round picks and then a rookie on, a player on a rookie contract. Yeah. Find, a low-level RB1, maybe Quinshon Judkins if you're lucky. Hey, let me get him. I think he's going to be a really good player to pick up, and a lot of guys are low on him. Maybe do 2 first-round picks, Judkins and a second or third, and see if you can get something like that. But St. Brown is the number 1 receiver so far in 2025. He's the number 3. Excuse me, and he was also number 3 last year. Nope, I think I'm wrong here. No, he was number 5 last year, but he was still really good. Top 5. He's really good as long as he stays healthy. Sky's the limit. They're gonna give him the ball. Jameson Williams, they're hoping to get him the ball more, but he hasn't really panned out too well. And Isaac Tesla looks great, and I hope he gets the ball more. He's just making one-hand catch after another Mayotron for them. But St. Brown is going to be their offense, besides Gibbs and Laporta. So get a lot for him.
Yep. If you ever have questions on dynasty trading, there's a website out there called Keep Trade Cut, who they have a trade calculator that you can use on their website that will help you evaluate how much capital draft picks are worth, how much players are worth, and how to make a fair trade for a certain player. So if you're wanting to find Amon-Ra St. Brown's value, I'd recommend going to their website.
Respectfully, though, I am not the biggest fan of calculators, especially trade calculators for fantasy football. Every league is different. Every trade is subjective. Some dynasty leagues don't value quarterback as much, especially like our dynasty auction. I think Josh Allen's contract is $10 out of a $200 fab, which is really, really low compared to, I have Derrick Henry at 65 right now, which was just a total dud last week. But nonetheless, every league is different. Take it with a grain of salt. Don't take it as fact. There's nothing more for us. I love guys, especially in Tanny. Tanny is there's always next league, or there's always next year is our dynasty league, is our college league. But there are guys in there who take it as the Bible. Oh, well, the calculator said this value is this. And it's just like, bro, it's like a matter of 200 fake points that you're talking about here. What are we talking about here? So, take it with a grain of salt. Everything's subjective. Every league is different, but it is a great resource to at least see where other people value what trades could be, but don't take it as the Bible. That's really frustrating. It's not 100% always fact.
No, I agree, and definitely you got to keep in mind the contracts that players are signed to, how long it's for, how much it is, if you want to extend them or not, what all those processes are in your leagues. So yeah, definitely.
Other resources, the Fantasy Footballers and other fantasy podcasts, they have the UDK Plus. You can download the app. Dynasty Nerds has an app. They also have Keep Trade Cut. You can add in basically your whole league, and then it'll tell you who they predict who's going to win the league and what moves you should make. And it's a lot of fun. Those all, you have to have paid subscriptions, but there are definitely resources out there where you can, relatively gain a competitive edge against your league mates for fantasy. So,
yeah,
but don't take those to Bible for sure. Don't take those to heart. That frustrates me so much. Yeah. Matthew and Kevin
getting called
talking
out.
to you too.
Oh, boy. Alrighty, well, that is everything that we had for this episode of the Commissioner's Couch podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening. And
real quick. Yes, sorry, we got to do the sponsor. We want to thank Inside Edge Network for hosting us graciously. Really appreciate them. LVP Productions as well. Peter Telp, you guys are awesome. Our sponsor, Monster Moments Photography, MOSSOR momentsphotography.com. Check out their website. Cleveland-based husband and wife photography team that specializes in weddings, and they're really good. It's my company. Check them out, guys. Go to my website, please. Give me some love. Sorry, continue.
That's it. Thanks for watching and tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week, guys.